does this work? If I got that on me, then that's me. Any shifting is just me. Right. Because I'm going through the software. So what that sees is me. Right. So that's your image. So if you do this, it's still you. So they should see you right now. Okay, perfect, I think. All right, let's find the wrong. What's up, Terrence? Terrence, what's up, homie? Miss Mendoza, or Miss Denoza, Denova. I'm determined you're gonna be a Latina. Are you Latina? Denova. What's up, Moki? Moki now. Peace to you. How is everything coming through, you guys? Are we clear? And can you hear me? Are we clear? And can you hear me? Said the Jedi. Shout out to Lanak, Patricia Jackson. Hey Jedi, happy to view your channel. Thank you so much, Patricia. I don't think I've ever seen you in the live stream. By the way, make sure you thumbs up the live stream. Make sure you check the links. And make sure that you definitely go over and join me over on Black Junction TV. Everyday Peoples, thank you for acknowledging my question. Appreciate you. All these other folks, I don't understand y'all. Thaddeus. Are you the Thaddeus that had the leg injury years ago? And we communicated briefly on Google Plus? And something just, was that you, Thaddeus? Because the name Thaddeus, I only know, I had a really good friend of mine back when I was a child named Thaddeus. It's a unique name for me. So is that you? Marcus, what's up, homie? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Okay, different Thaddeus, but still Thaddeus. It's still an interesting name. And get a picture of Thaddeus. If you're new to the channel or you're new to the Jedi, it's very important that you have a thumbnail picture up. We are about family, and we can't be family if you hide in the closet with the door shut and just talking to us. And in the live streams, I try and give priority, like when people type subjects and comments and questions, I try and give priority to those people that I can see. But I'm glad you're here. And Patricia, your picture is so microscopic, I can't even. And I'm on a 50-inch. But it's all good. Did I miss anybody? See, now, Miss Denova, when I was calling you Mendoza, now CJ Mendoza just showed up. So I got my Mendoza, you know what I'm saying, and my Denova, you know what I'm saying, because I can do that. You know what I'm saying, I can diversify as the Jedi. I want to test some things right here at the beginning, you guys, because we're going to be dealing with some videos. One of which was when I was live streaming the Willie Lynch video, which was a technological accomplishment for me. I was very pleased to be able to do that, to just be able to live stream that entire video live. That was everything. you know. Patricia, and also to Thaddeus, if you guys, and everyday peoples, if you guys have a Facebook or a Twitter or something like that where your picture appears, and you can give me the link for that, I'm happy to go and look at that, because there's some people that I know, and like I know who they are, I know their other social media, and so maybe they show up here and they don't have a picture, but I know who they are. So at least I have a mental picture of them in my mind, you know. Plus, I'm also someone that likes to be connected to people. Like I'm just that type of vibration. That's my spirit. That's my energy. I'm a people person, and I have to feel connected to people. You know, I have to feel connected. Um, so as I was saying, you know, in that live stream, and then I was off on my phone communicating with everybody in the chat. So that really worked out well because I had the video in full screen, and so there's no way I could see the chat or anything like that, so that was not an option. But okay, I see you, CJ. If you could give me the link, that'd be great. Actually, I see your picture, but I'm saying, like, you know, oh no, you're asking me, do I have one? No, I don't, CJ, because hey, Lightbearer, the reason why I don't have an Instagram is because on Kent Street, shout out to you, need a picture. CJ, the reason why I don't have an Instagram is because every social media that I have is only because I can share my videos. That's it. Like, I'm not interested in social media in any other way other than being able to share my videos. That's it. Because for me, it's about my mission on Earth and why I'm on YouTube and all those things. And so, Instagram, my understanding is you can't put full videos up over there. So I never even tried. You know, I just don't need it. But I always hear people saying, you know, do it for the gram, do it for the gram, you know, and those are just like social media people seeking something that I'm not here for, you know. That's not my mission. But anyways, I want to try some things, you guys, because we're going to be doing this, and in that live stream, uh, Shaka mentioned, okay, Moki, thank you for that, because that's good to know, because even, who was it recently, Pam is jamming. She's the one that reminded me after my live stream they took my live stream on my Jedi Revolution channel. They took that away for 2 weeks, and Pam is the one that said, Jedi, you know, you can live stream on Facebook. I'm like, oh yeah. So I did that, and I just did a test over there. But then I learned that I still could do live streaming here on the Jedi channel. I thought that I couldn't. I thought you had to have at least 1,000 subscribers. And I don't have that because people are not subscribing on the damn Jedi channel, so I need to get it together. But so yeah, thank you for that with the Instagram thing. So see, that it has to be practical for me. You see, Moki? So just you telling me that will make me now go and at least probably get an Instagram just in case I need it for that, you know. So with the live stream, what's up, Rella? With the live stream, one of the brothers, Shaka, was talking about this Mr. Jones Plantation from Larkin Roads. And I'm like, no, I never heard of it. And he was like, you know, you should check that out. Maybe that could be the subject of your next live stream. Because I was saying, I don't know what my next video is going to be, and I don't know what my next live stream is going to be. So I just found a video for it, and I thought we'd just start with that. I really don't have a full presentation of what I want to do in this live stream, but I know I wanted to put something out today and do some kind of a live event. I'm going to do that, and I also have another video I'm going to share with you on interracial dating, which you all know is a hot topic for me and here on the channel. And then I have another video clip that I'm going to show you of this black Republican, I'm over it. So the first thing I want to do is set up here now. Wait. You got to be with me on this, you guys, because I'm only as good as you, you know. And y'all need to also let me know when I'm shining too. You feel me? Just I can't be shining. I'm gonna need your feedback on this, you guys, because I'm only as good as you. And so when you answer back to me and let me know stuff, then I know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. All right. So the first thing I want to do is try to share. Let me cue it up. This video. It's called Mr. Jones, or it's called the Jones Plantation. I've not watched it, just when he was mentioning it in the live stream, and he was saying, it's really interesting, and da-da-da-da, and I guess he was provoked by it because of the subject of the Willie Lynch video. So I just said I would go and find something, and I found something, and now we're going to share that, and we're going to see what happens. All right, then we'll discuss. And as always in these live streams, if you have any questions, you can always ask. If you have any topics you want to address, we can do that. It's just kind of a free form. The whole purpose for these live streams is when I have something that I want to share or something I want to talk about, but it's more, I can do that in videos. So I just do that to bring my own piece of it. These live streams are really, my agenda for these live streams is really an opportunity to interact with my people more directly. And it's in real time, and so it's not like you're watching me on a recorded video. It's like I'm here right now, and I'm communicating with you right now, and you're communicating with me, so that's what this is about for me. So X is me, Z they see. Okay, so let's play this video now, and it's 12 minutes, and so I'll put it in full screen, and then let's watch this, and then we'll discuss. Wait, I just hit my thing, y'all. Hold up, because I just hit my I gotta make sure I'm good. Okay, we're good. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Mr. Jones owned a cotton plantation and many slaves. One day he was talking to the owner of the plantation next to his, and Mr. Jones was lamenting the fact that times were tough. He was having to work his slaves harder than ever, and was having trouble with some of them being disobedient or trying to run away. The other plantation owner said he knew someone who could help.
Day 1.
One day Mr. Jones called his slaves together so a man named Mr. Smith could talk to them. Before beginning, Mr. Smith whispered to Mr. Jones, "Whatever I say, do not contradict me or interfere, and I promise you your slave troubles will end." "My name is Mr. Smith," he said to the slaves, "and this may be the happiest day of your lives. From today forward, you will no longer be slaves, but free men." Mr. Jones was so shocked he started to step forward, but Mr. Smith gestured for him to remain silent. He did, only because the other plantation owner had spoken so highly of Mr. Smith's skills. "You are no longer the property of Mr. Jones," Mr. Smith continued. "You are free. No more would you be forced to labor for the benefit of Mr. Jones. Now you can work for yourselves." Now the slaves were all murmuring and looking at each other. Many were smiling, many were looking puzzled. "In fact, you are now free to leave the plantation whenever you want," Mr. Smith said. "However, since we are surrounded by other plantations, if you leave, some other plantation owner will..."
I got to stop it there and say this. Hopefully you can hear me. We object to how well dressed the slaves are in this drawing. We object. Damn it.
"Likely claim you as his own the moment you set foot on his property. So I urge you not to risk your newfound freedom by doing something so foolish. Instead, I suggest that you stay here, no longer as slaves, but as willing participants and part owners of this plantation. Yes, this is now your plantation." Mr. Jones bit his tongue to keep from objecting. "For now, we might as well leave Mr. Jones in charge," said Mr. Smith, "since he is the only one with any experience at running a plantation, which is quite a complicated thing to manage. But he will no longer be your master, but just another worker on the plantation. In fact, he will now be using his organizational and management skills to serve you. Whatever problems you may have had with him before, you are now all equals, and you need each other to make this work. If we all cooperate and work together, we can all reap the benefits together. In honor of this happy occasion, I present you this new symbol of togetherness and cooperation, this flag, which shall be the emblem of the new, free Jones Plantation. He held up the new flag, but most of those listening were still too amazed to respond. And this shall be our motto, Mr. Smith announced. We work together as free men for our mutual benefit, pledging our allegiance to the Jones Plantation, which stands for prosperity, liberty, and justice for all. To celebrate, everyone has the rest of the day off. Enjoy your freedom, do as you please, and be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, so that we may begin work on this great and noble new endeavor as equal free men. Finally convinced that Mr. Smith was serious, the former slaves applauded and cheered.
Day 2.
We all want this plantation to do well, Mr. Smith said at the beginning of the next meeting, so we can all share in the benefits. We all know that it takes a lot of effort to make a cotton plantation work. Just because you're all free doesn't mean you can stop working. In fact, since you're now working for yourselves, I expect you to work even harder than ever before.
Can everybody hear it? I decided to stop midway and ask, can everybody hear it? Okay. We'll continue.
But now with pride and joy, knowing that you're working for yourselves. Of course, there still have to be rules. If everyone just does whatever he wants, the plantation won't produce anything. This experiment will fail, and we'll all starve. You should be thankful that Mr. Jones has agreed to stay on to lend his knowledge and skills to this endeavor, and I trust you will all do your own part to make this work. Several of you have been chosen to act as project supervisors to manage different aspects of the operation, to make sure everyone is doing his assigned job, to make sure that the rules are followed, and so on. The rest of you may head out to the fields to start your first day of work as free men.
Day 3.
The next morning, Mr. Smith had a grim expression on his face as the daily meeting began. I have an unpleasant duty to do today, he said. Yesterday, Charles was caught keeping some of the cotton he picked, presumably to sell for his own personal profit. That is against the rules. That is stealing. For that, Charles must be punished. 2 men tied Charles to the whipping post. I take no joy in this, Mr. Smith continued, but you must understand, if we do not maintain order, if we do not have rules that we all abide by, then the plantation will fail, and we will all suffer. The whip cracked against Charles' back. But if we all pitch in for the common good, then we can all prosper. Being free doesn't mean you should be selfish and greedy. We must each do our assigned duties and obey the rules, and then we can all benefit, and each of you will receive your appropriate share of the profits. A young man named Samuel stepped forward. But if you and Mr. Jones decide the rules and whip us if we disobey, how is that any different from what we had before? How can you say that? Mr. Smith asked. I'm shocked. You were a slave before, and now you're free. Things still need to be managed and organized by those best qualified to do so. Do you know how to run a plantation, Samuel? Well, no, he answered. But if we're free, why do we get no say in what the rules are and how things work? I'm surprised at your ingratitude, Mr. Smith answered. None of you know how a plantation is run, so you're in no position to be making decisions about how things are done here. You don't seem to appreciate all the things that Mr. Jones provides for you, from protecting you from all the outside threats that you know nothing about, those who would come here, capture and enslave you, if not for Mr. Jones' protection, to making sure that you all have food and housing, tools to work with, you're cared for when sick and injured, and so on. There wouldn't be a plantation at all, no cotton to pick, no land to plant and harvest, if not for him. You should be grateful that he's made possible the level of comfort you now have. Your lives would be far worse if not for him. Nevertheless, as free and equal participants in this endeavor, from now on at each meeting, any worker may have 2 minutes to ask questions or voice suggestions or complaints. With that, the workers all seemed satisfied and headed out again to the fields to pick the cotton.
Day 4.
I have a big announcement, Mr. Smith said as the daily meeting began. Mr. Jones' cousin is here, and not just to visit and see how our project is coming along. It has been decided that from now on, you will be deciding who will manage the plantation. Of course, this job can't be done by just anyone, but every 3 months we will have a special meeting at which all the workers will vote on whether we think Mr. Jones should run the plantation or whether we think his cousin, Mr. Johnson, should run the plantation. That means that ultimately you are in charge because you will be deciding which man you want running things on your behalf. If you don't like the way things are being managed, you now have the power to change it. Amazed and pleased, the workers headed out again to the fields to pick the cotton. Days passed, months passed, a year passed, and the plantation continued to operate as before. Sometimes Mr. Jones was in charge, sometimes Mr. Johnson was in charge, but the day-to-day routine stayed exactly the same. The workers worked hard, long hours every day, and still had little to show for it. Every day the meeting would begin with them all reciting the Jones Plantation motto, "We work together as free men for our mutual benefit, pledging our allegiance to the Jones Plantation, which stands for prosperity, liberty, and justice for all." One day Mr. Smith announced, "Samuel is asked to say a few words this morning, and whatever the rest of us may think of his ideas and opinions, we are all free here, and that means we are all allowed to speak our minds. So, Samuel, you have 2 minutes. Begin." Samuel stepped forward, looking scared. "I was excited when all this started," he began, glancing nervously at Mr. Smith and Mr. Jones. "But don't you all see what's happened here? Nothing has changed. We're all still slaves." There were grumbles of disagreement from the crowd. "They tell us what to do and whip us if we don't. They still make all the rules and punish us if we disobey. They let us make suggestions and complain about things, but they never really change anything. They let us choose between Mr. Jones and Mr. Johnson, but what's the difference? The situation stays the same. We do all of the work and they take as much as they want and decide how much they'll let us keep. They live in luxury, made rich by the cotton we pick. We do all the work and have to build our own huts, grow our own food, and take care of ourselves. They leave us just enough that we don't revolt or run away. This is not freedom. We're all still slaves. They've only changed the words they use, but nothing else has changed. They say we're all free and equal, but we're not. They command and we obey. That's not freedom. That's not equality. They say we're free to leave, but all that means is that we're free to be someone else's slave. Why should we work or obey the rules? We didn't agree to this. They made the system. They forced it on us. They control and rob us and call it freedom. They've deceived you into thinking that being able to choose which slave master you'll work for is the same as being free. It's not. Open your eyes. If you keep what you produce, they call it stealing. When they take what you produce, they call it...
Y'all that listen to me all the time, y'all know what I'm going to say. Y'all type it. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. I have a lot of things I'm going to say, but I know you know one of the main ones. Let's keep going.
Call it sharing and fair distribution. Can't you see that this is all... Your time is up, Samuel, Mr. Smith announced calmly. At his gesture, 2 supervisors grabbed Samuel by the arms and led him to the whipping post. "I'm sorry, Samuel, but you've broken the rules. There are rules against encouraging others not to work and encouraging others to break the rules. You're only hurting all of us with your discontentment and your complaining and your disobedience." The whip fell and Samuel let out a grunt. "Without rules, without order, all would be lost. Without law, there would be chaos. We can't just behave as wild animals, each doing whatever he pleases. We must all follow the plan and all do our duty for the betterment of everyone. And those who do not must be punished." The whip fell again and blood flowed freely from Samuel's back. "Samuel, it is you who are stealing from the others. When you don't do your assigned work, you are making more work for others. When you disobey the rules, it is you who are endangering the future of everyone else here. You are the thief. You are the criminal. You are the one trying to destroy the arrangement that keeps us all safe and prosperous." At every lash of the whip, the other workers cheered louder and louder, some yelling curses at Samuel. "Being spoiled and selfish, you complain about everything, talking as if you're oppressed. But you are the one ruining things. You are the one keeping us from being all we could be. It is your greed and your rebelliousness that is hurting all of us. They all play by the rules," Mr. Smith said, gesturing at the others. "What makes you think that you don't have to? You think you're above the law?" There were loud yells of agreement as the whip fell again. "We must maintain order," Mr. Smith proclaimed, "to make this plantation great, to make it so that we can all be happy and prosperous. To have the society we want, there have to be rules. We all have to contribute our fair share to this great endeavor, and we cannot tolerate actions and attitudes that seek to undermine the amazing things that together as free men we have achieved and will continue to achieve. Mr. Jones was smiling as he gave Mr. Smith a pat on the back. The crowd was cheering so loudly that none of them had noticed that Samuel had died.
What you have been taught about government and politics is no more accurate or reasonable than what Mr. Smith taught the slaves. If you're ready to look through the veil of rhetoric and propaganda to see the reality beneath, get a copy of The Most Dangerous Superstition. It will change the way you see the world.
Now, that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit, like de jour. And I hope everybody could see it and hear it. You know, let me just, because when we're on that, you guys, I had it in full screen, so I can't see the chat or anything like that. So let me just check some things, and I'll make some comments on that. Shout out to, I think I said that already, on Kent Street. I did. I'll answer that, CJ, in a minute. We're gonna, after I talk about this. Mr. Nova says, sound like my last team meeting at work. I'm over it. And the fact you use team meeting. Shout out to Betsy. I see you, girl. Kendra Jones, you know it. You hit it dead on the head yesterday, today, and today is yesterday. I love you so much. I love you so much. That's exactly it. That's one of the main things I was going to say. And walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh, what's up? That's you. Now listen, I've been stalking you. I said, why can we Skype? Can we Skype? Can we Skype? You never got back to me. Answer me today. I'm not leaving this live stream till I get an answer. I'm not going nowhere. Anyway, you hit that dead on the head. Kim, good to see you, my sister. I think I left you out. I don't know. But anyways, and I know we didn't get a chance to get together that day. Then I said, we'll get together tomorrow. And I didn't. Mr. Nova, yes. If they are breathing, they're lying. Yes. What's up, Mika? Shout out to LT. Same shit, different toilet or outhouse. I love that. Shout out to Infallible Dialect. Interesting name. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of new names, you guys. You got to thumbs up the live stream. That's the cost of admission. You got a thumbs up. So hit the thumbs up right now. Do it now. Do it now. You were fired up yesterday. I'm the same way when it comes to programmer. I was, Miko. Because it was some bullshit. Like proofread your shit. Anjane, what's up, girl? Good to see you. Infallible Direct. If we're talking about the man they call Jesus, we say Yeshua. That is the correct, because that's the Aramaic, which is the language that he spoke. Yeshua is the correct name, if that's what you're referring to. I don't know. Kendra Jones, I think I shouted you out, but just in case. Shut up. Yeah, I did. I just said that because now I'm getting your name mixed. Like, that's just confusing me. You're confusing me. What you say to me? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. What goes around comes around. What goes up must come down. LT, if I didn't shout you out already. And, okay, this is what I want to tell y'all. Like my girl Kendra said, that's the first thing. Yesterday is today and today is yesterday. Now shit has changed. That is first. Okay, infallible dialect, I'm about to block you because I'm hearing white devil out of you. I detect the stench of white devil and I can't. Like, I don't know when you got here, but you've heard, like, that's not what the fuck we're talking about. So, like, what are you doing? Stay on topic. You understand? I deleted your shit anymore and I just block you completely. Plus, you don't have a picture, which is why I'm not giving you any love. You understand what I'm telling you? There's people that don't have pictures. Those people, I know them. You understand? You don't have a picture. I'm not familiar with your name. So you just come in and I don't think so. Well, that's not what I detect. And I'm very keen. So watch your tone. All right? This is what I want to say. Okay, Miss Empress just gave me the word. That's it. Then let me do this. I am the captain of my life. Velvet rope only. I always tell you guys, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Allow. Set standards for your own value on your own life and don't compromise that at all. Be fair, but don't compromise for shit. All right. Now, here's what I wanted to say. The only thing that you're able to really control in this society is what kind of house you buy and what kind of car you drive. That's it. There is an illusion of freedom that is being sold. You understand? To everybody, but we're only concerned about us. And you saw in the piece where it's the same thing. Today, you're not going to be slaves, and then give you the fear that you can be free here, but don't leave here because there's people out there that won't like your freedom and they will attack you. So you definitely don't want to leave this plantation. You don't want to go to Africa. There's nothing there, huh? In South Africa. Well, we can't give up the land because the blacks don't know how to farm the land. Bitch, we were farming at least some 75,000 years before your white devil ass came around. Was there no farming before that? You see? So this is the same echoes that we see in this piece. This idea. And they run everything. And they're the minority. Even in that video, they're the minority. The slaves outnumber them. But they're running all the shit. And then the one dude that stands up to try and make his people see, the Jedi, they shut your channel down. Don't, how dare you tell these niggers something other than what we're telling. Quick, shut them down. You see? It's the same shit, same devil. Same. And in the coon class, because they all stood around when they singled their brother out and put him on the whipping post for doing nothing other than standing up to their white ass and questioning their demonic logic. And all of them stood back. And then the language was, you see all of them are doing their thing, how come you're such and such? Why don't you think you have to follow the rules? This is their language now, everybody. That whole thing just illustrated right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. I can't. And then you'll get a choice to whether or not you want Mr. So-and-so to lead or whether you want Mr. or his cousin to lead. But your black ass can't lead. You know, it's the same thing really. But we have to make a distinction. It's the same thing with the Democrat and Republican, you know. But we have to make distinctions, you know, because the lesser of the evils, if we're going to do levels of evil, which is kind of anti-intellectual, but go with me. If we're going to do levels of evil, then the Democrats are less evil, seem to be, than what is clearly out in the open as racist for the damn Republican side, you know? So, but I use that as the metaphor because you're still only having two of, they tell you which do you pick from. You don't get to put up a third party. You see, we don't get to come with like, you know, the Panther Party and say, yeah, this is who we want. No, you got to pick from one of these two. It's going to be Mr. So-and-so or his cousin. Same idea, you know. So I just thought that was illustrative of that, you know. And it was a short piece, but that's why I say you got to free your mind, expand your thought, expand your experience, you know. And I heard somebody say recently, I've heard it before, but I heard somebody say recently, and something I was watching or something, and it was a brother, and he was saying, you know, travel is the cure for a lot of things, you know, because when you travel, you see and experience things that you don't know anything about and otherwise wouldn't know anything about, you know, unless it was like from somebody else's dictation or somebody else's experience or something like that. And I've said a million times that our people have got to get out and start exposing yourself to things that you normally wouldn't be exposed to. You put yourself in environments that you normally wouldn't be in and stuff like that. It's the only way that you know, knowledge is an ongoing thing from birth to death. And it's something that you don't just think that you've got knowledge by sitting down and reading books or something like that. You know, I watched a video and I read a book and I'm knowledgeable. You're not. You got to get out and go and be and do. You see, because there's so much incidental knowledge that comes up. You know, inspirations of the soul, and even how you view the world affects how you consume knowledge and what knowledge you consume and things like that. I wish I could even articulate this in a way that I felt was even clear. You know, I was watching recently, there was in the Congo, there's a service that goes from one part of the Congo, like several thousand miles, to another part of the Congo. And it's like this one ship, and then they have all these barges, and there's like thousands of Africans that are traveling from one spot to the next. Anyway, there are babies are being born on this thing. I mean, it's a lot going on. It's through dangerous territories that they sail and things. I mean, people you just get you a spot on this barge wherever you can. And there's other boats that you just come up and latch on, and people are all out there sleeping, and it's just being dragged along and stuff like that. It's an interesting thing, but something like that, when you see that, you think of, at least I do, I think about. In fact, when I was watching that, I probably was laying in bed, and I was just thinking, even my television that I'm watching this on, I'm just thinking, I can just go to Walmart and get such and such. I just do such and such. I can just do, and I just, and here are people who this is their way of life. You must understand this is not the only way of life, everybody. Most of the world is living a natural human existence without all these creature comforts and air conditioning and heat and oh I have a microwave and da, 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 and I have a car and I can just do whatever. And if when you get yourself into a place where you are cognizant of that and you contemplate those things, not only does it help you to be more grateful for what you are doing, but it also challenges you. At least it challenges me, because when I see stuff like that, I don't want to live in comfort. I don't want that. I want to be able to go where the only light you got is from sun up to sundown. You know, I mean, the men, and then even on this big thing, I'm telling you, thousands of people, and you just have like you just on there, they're all packed on there, and then you may have like a tent set up over here and something over there, and then they had even a little thing where they was making food and selling stuff and had a store and all of it, and even to shower, it was like you go to the back of the thing, the men go separate than the women, and you go to the back, which is you got to go a long ass way because this thing is like eons long through thousands of people you got to go through to get to the back, and then they scoop the water, they throw these buckets down, the water comes up, and that's how they shower. And to use the bathroom, they hang on to the railing of the back and then just and let it go. That was their way. And when I see stuff like that, all I can think about is they like they don't even know what we're doing. And not just us, anybody in countries where stuff is modern, and they have technology and all the shit. Nobody on there is texting. There's no phones and all that stuff going on. It's very human. And the fish that they get and stuff like that. And they even had a monkey that they killed. And then the narrator mentions that the monkeys are an endangered species. This that you hear that audio, and then you hear one of the African brothers say, he goes, God put this here. This is for us. It is for us to eat. So eat it. I ate this since I was a child. This is what we eat. I never seen nobody eat a monkey. And I saw them butcher it, and they had the guts out and everything, and they put it, and remember the thing is moving in the water, so they just put it in the water, and and it just, that current wrenches out the carcass, and the guts were there, and they just did their thing. But I love, wait, I heard somebody say, take care of Mika. What, did Mika go? You still hear Mika? Anyway, I don't want to labor this. I just wanted to say that, you have to understand what education really is, everybody. Education is not in a book all the time. Most education is not in a book, I would even say. My grandma used to always say that, because our first stepmother, she was like she was a teacher, and she was, all that stuff. And but to my grandmother, she was a smart lady, but she didn't have no common sense. So my grandmother used to say, you could have all the book knowledge in the world, but you could still be an educated fool. My phone is going to hell right now. I'm not going in there. Anyway, you got to expand your knowledge, everybody. Damn it. For you. Because that informs how you do everything. If you don't know that a plant is dangerous or poisonous, you're more likely to eat it or to do something with it. That's what I wanted to say about that. Then I want to look at some of you guys' comments that I've not been looking at, answer some questions, and then I want to go to this. I can't. I'm sorry, I don't hear a phone ringing. Did somebody hear a phone? Somebody hear a phone? Because I don't hear a phone. Let me go back up. CJ says, when are you moving to Africa, and is your sister and nephew still accompanying you? CJ, I am still moving to Africa, inshallah. And I will be looking for your coin, because I'm definitely going to be doing a fundraiser on that. I'm gonna just, in fact, my GoFundMe is still up from when we raised money for the car, but I just decided to just leave it up because people were still donating. In fact, one of the sisters, Akibalan Violet, she personally donated $500. I couldn't breathe. But I mentioned that to say that probably later in the year, well, we're at July. I don't know why I'm even waiting, but that's what the universe tells me. So I think that's why I'm saying it. So I feel like probably September-ish, maybe, I'll start trying to start raising money. My sister, I don't think is going, CJ. My sister is impulsive. You know, her intentions are pure, but I wish she was more like me. And ironically, she's the most like me. But alas, nobody is like me, and especially my family. I am such a unique article. And she is like most people would be. You know, she doesn't have the, you know, I've always been somebody that I can see the weight of something, and I go, okay, I can do that. I can do it. Let's do it, you know? So I know it's not going to be easy. I've lived in this environment my whole life, you know? But I've been doing the work to at least know what I don't know, and so that I don't have too many surprises. I've been communicating with people on the continent regularly, and I've been watching and learning everything that I could watch and learn, and then apply my own intellect and my own common sense, my own know-how, and then the gift from the one who creates us all, and I'm out of this bitch. Now, when am I leaving? That would depend on how quickly I can raise the money, because my first plan changed. So now I realize you probably need to raise some money, because I don't want to be one of those disaster stories that gets there and then I got to come back. Like, when I go, I'm not coming back to this bitch. I intend to be buried on African soil unless the Creator says differently. I'm done. But my new mission and my new obsession, it's not really new, because this has been one of my whole reasons for moving to Africa. Moving to Africa isn't just for me. It's for you. It's for all of you. It's for us, because I want to be that dude. Because even the people I communicate with and people whose videos and stuff I see, they're not thorough. They're not helping. I'm seeking. They're not helping. It's like when I tell you guys, when I do tutorials, and I fucking hate everybody's tutorial because it's some bullshit. I can't. So it's the same thing with this. They're not really, like, when I go to Africa, I'm in your shoes. Period. I know what you need to know and what you want to know. And I know the stuff that you don't even know that you need to know, that I'll be communicating with you. You understand? I need to demystify it once and for all for anybody that wants to come, but I also need to build that bridge. You understand? I need to have places where people can come and so that people can make the transition. A lot of us would have already been out of here if there was a path or if they knew what to do. I'm going to be the dude to do that. Damn it. Wait, I went way back up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, CJ, the voters are still slaves. And this last election showed that. Otherwise, they would have just fucking voted for Bernie Sanders and been over it. If the pursuit was righteousness and not trying to be a part of a team, Bernie Sanders would be president right now. Period. But to my Muslima Sister Shah, we have to get together. I will die if we don't. I'm telling you now. So if you don't want my death on your hands, then you need to go and do this so I can survive and stuff. Okay, this must have been before we got rid of the white devil because I'm seeing stuff. Yeah, that was before we got rid of him. Okay, Miko says she was halfway through. Yeah, you know, and to the Willie Lynch thing, you guys, and any of my long pieces, I've said this many times. You know, I don't expect for you to sit down and watch it in one piece. Maybe you do, you know, but you watch it in your own time frame. Just get it done, you know, because like I'm not going to be constricted by, oh, I can only do it this long. Like even in that video we just saw, you know, when he says so and so, you can come on up to speak, but you've got 2 minutes to speak, and then he wasn't done yet. Okay, your time's up. Like I can't. I'm not doing that because that's disrespectful to the pursuit of knowledge. You know, nobody ever stopped digging for gold because they only had a certain time frame to do it. They kept digging until they got the gold. Same with oil or anything of value. You got to put in the time and the work to reap that harvest. Uh, uh, Kimberly, if you're still on, hopefully we can get a live stream in tomorrow. It seems like whenever I say it, it doesn't get done. If I don't say it, then I end up doing it. Okay, yeah, that was before we got rid of the asshole. See, I can sniff white devil, y'all. I sniff it. And the thing is they don't know it because they are them. And they have bought into it. They're the same as us. No, I'm not the same as you. Thankfully. 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 And I sniff what's not of mine. Yeah, LT, like I say, if you've got you know, a Facebook or a Twitter or something like that, I'm happy to go and look at it and go, okay, there he is. Okay, fine. You know, um, or you can just take the 2 seconds that it takes to upload a picture here. There's a novel idea. Either way, so that I'm not just working in the blind. Miko, what are you guys talking about? I'm writing in car, just reading chats and can't hear. I missed the watching Jedi. I will definitely listen later. Oh, okay, Miko was driving. Girl, don't get no wreck over the Jedi. Yeah, yeah, it is, Marcus, and that's why I brought after Shaka had suggested it yesterday, and then now that we saw the piece, it really was an extension. It really was. By the way, anybody that hasn't seen that Willie Lynch video that I did before this one, you would want to see that. This was called the Jones Plantation. It's a guy, Larkin Rose or something like that. What's his name? Yeah, Larkin Rose, Larken, Larkin Rose, and it's called the Jones Plantation. There was more videos, but that one will get you started, you know, so to speak. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I need to answer. Americans are accustomed to living lavish. Some people live fine without it. That's so true. Because we've been seduced into you have to have this and you have to have that. And then you don't have to have that. And for many thousands of years, people didn't live like this and they was good. You know? Hey, boo! That's my wife, y'all. That's Deidre. CJ says, would Africans accept us? Lots of other countries dislike Americans. You know what, CJ? Again, because of social media and the internet, that is all being killed off now. Oh my God, this thing is turning my arm black. I can't. That is dying very rapidly. I need to let you know. Our brothers and sisters on the continent are beckoning us home. You know, you must realize that the agenda from this devil was not only to hide them from us, but us from them, so that we don't long for Africa, and so they don't long for us. Many of them didn't know the slave story, but they have to know because a lot of the slave dungeons and castles are still there. So a big part of that is folklore that they don't know about us, and they don't know, and they don't know. They know. They know. They even have words for us to describe those of us who have gone. You see, there's still ritualistic dances and prayers and stuff that they do in memory of those who were taken. Because to them, that was an assault and an affront to them. Remember, everything is African. So even if you're Kenyan, if you're Tanzanian, if you're Ghanaian, it doesn't matter. They might make their distinctions about their countries, but they are African and they're proud. And so they understand that this crime was committed against them. You see, they know this. And many countries, Kenya, Ghana, I feel like, I don't want to say it because I don't know, have put things in place to make our return easy. You see, across the continent now, there's this term repatriates. They're talking about us. They're talking about us. They want us to come home. And more you're hearing the continent talk about one Africa, because they've also woken up to the understanding of their own colonization. They've also are waking up to the understanding of this white devil installing, and big corporations installing puppet governments and things there. So they're proclaiming one Africa now. After Brexit and all of it, you had them now, you have a continental visa on the continent now. You don't have to get a visa to go from Ghana to Kenya, and I got to get another one to go over here. You don't fuck all that. One goddamn visa, and you're on Africa. You see what I'm saying? So they are slowly taking control. You know, we look at the Ivory Coast, which is where most of your chocolate comes from. Most Africans in the Ivory Coast don't even know what chocolate tastes like. But we're the fucking people they steal children, literally steal them, and have them out harvesting the cocoa thing and all of that. Children, and they're paying them pennies, if at all. The kids don't get anything. They just get taken and just used as slaves. But the ones that because there's some people they need to do certain stuff, they give them like a penny or something like that. And they have no idea the billions of dollars that are being made on chocolate. And on any day on earth, white folks worship chocolate more so than we ever will. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, they know about us. And yes, they want us to come home. Come home. They even say it, and they say those words. Come home. Come home. Come home. Where we make the mistake is that I see a lot of Christians that go there. Like when I see videos of people that go, and that's the other thing that makes me sick. Most of the videos that I see are people that are Christian. So they already got the wrong idea, because they usually go with this whole, this American, like American black people here, 86% are Christians, so we're just going to call all of them Christian. So usually they won't eat nothing that don't look like chicken and taste like a hamburger, and they look funny and stuff, and then you can't go home with that. You can't. You have to go to Africa as a child, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're going back into the womb. That's how I think of it. Journey back into the womb. And so I go as a student. I don't go there boasting that I have a degree and I know it all and I speak 3 languages and no. That won't even be known unless I'm called upon for any skill or talent that I have. Because our people are proud, but African people are by nature not arrogant. So that comes off as arrogance, and they don't like that. You must go with an humble spirit. Humble, humble, humble. You see? And don't go acting like you act here, because you're not going to get anywhere. You won't. You know, you probably get taken advantage of, and you know. So it's a million things. I got another video I want to share with you guys. This one is on the interracial tip. This will make you sick. And so that's why I'm playing it. Let me see, what are you saying right now? You're saying me. I'm going to change this over so that you can see. Let me check the audio on this. Test. Well, whatever. I'm not going. Alright. This is a short video also, you guys. It's very short. It's less than 4 minutes. Hear this now. Wait. Hear this.
She's Kayla, I'm Chris, and then, we're together. She just so happened to be white, I just so happened to be black.
Well, Chris and I met working MSU sports camps. We were both like camp assistants, and
wait, I gotta stop it. Start it. Well, Chris and I met, and remember, and is always a 2-syllable word with these fucking people. It's not just and. And, all right, and. Well, Chris and I met, and I can't.
She's Kayla, I'm Chris, and then, we're together. She just so happened to be white, I just so happened to be black.
Well, Chris and I met working MSU sports camps. We were both like camp assistants, and right away we hit it off. And then he ended up transferring, and he kept saying, oh, like, you need to just come to Eastern, and like, I don't do long distance relationships. And next thing you know, not only are we in a relationship, but he's transferring back to Michigan State. So it really worked out perfectly for us.
Yes, I think we both come from like...
I'm willing to bet you anything that ain't his car. I said it. I said it. I said it. I said it. Let's go on.
Pretty extreme, like she's like from Gaylord and I'm like from Detroit. So we kind of, and it's kind of interesting too, like how Gaylord and Detroit would like work together. They approve. They love Kayla. Only thing my mom asked me.
Family acceptance is the. I keep looking over there. Family acceptance is the question they put up there now. Of course, it's always we accept. It's always that. My family didn't have no problem with it. You see? But let's go on.
She just asked how her parents were with me. She was just worried if I was being treated differently. They don't have a worry for us as long as we're happy.
I just want you to be careful, not because anything with him, just now.
Right. Now, you see, I just want you to be careful in that. She's talking about her family now, because you see how they led into it. You know, they didn't get a chance to re-ask the question, or put it up on the screen. They're just like, I just want you to be safe in that, and not because of anything with him. Oh yes, it's because of him, white bitch. I can't with this, but let's shut up, Jedi. It's only a 3-minute video. You're making it longer, and you're just doing things all the.
Careful, not because of anything with him, just not wanting me to face discrimination or us to face discrimination if we get married, for our kids to face discrimination. So they just want everything to be okay for me. There aren't a lot of racial problems in Gaylord, but that's because there aren't a lot of races in Gaylord. Pretty much 99% white, And so while there isn't like obvious racism, you can't really tell because a lot of people there have never even interacted with people that aren't white.
Why are you with that white girl or something like that? I'd be like, give us a look. Sometimes there'll be like a little smile. It's kind of like approval. But others, you can tell they're thinking like, why she's with him or why is he with her or something like that.
Certain black guys on my like floor, freshman, sophomore year, saying like that they would never like actually be in a relationship with a white girl. And I think those guys are, I don't know that they're necessarily in the majority because now I have friends of all different races, of all different kinds of relationships, but they said these specific guys really stuck in my mind, and so I was kind of hesitant, just like, okay, is he actually trying to like go somewhere with this, or is he just looking for something else? Because if it's just something else, then that's not going to happen.
With me, I don't really like that type of stuff, especially like racism, prejudice, discriminatory type stuff. I kind of respond negatively to that, so I would like stare back and like, look, it's like, is there a problem? You know what I mean?
I can't, because he's in his fantasy world. I don't really like stuff like that, as if it's an option, like as if it's Pizza Hut or it's fucking McDonald's. I don't really eat that. You don't have a fucking choice. You are a damn nigga in this asshole of Satan. You don't get a choice of whether that you like racism or not. You see? And she just said that where they live is 99% white. So he is in a, listen, growing up, you guys, in fact, this dude I used to know named Larry, that is fucking Larry right there on the damn screen. That's him. That's Larry, looks just like him and everything. Same thing. Larry might have been a hair bit darker than him, I think, maybe. Same head, same haircut, that's Larry. I fucking tell you that's Larry. And he was with some white bitch, I forget the white bitch's name. And, but it's that. It's just so like you're in another universe if you think that you are innocuous to this because of this white bitch and she don't look like a goddamn, because don't know white bitches look like a goddamn anyway. Let's try and finish the piece, everybody. I don't want to get worked up.
But one time she told me, she was like, you know what, just let it go. They're probably just looking at us because they think we're beautiful or something like that. And like from there, they just like changed my whole perspective.
It never bothered me, but the only thing that bothered me was the idea that like it might bother him. So in the beginning, I would be like, oh, these people are telling you like, oh, why are you with the white girl? Is that going to change your mind or like make you not want to be in this relationship?
This is fresh and young and windblown, everybody. It's not going to last. I don't know when this was or anything like that. I don't think I ever heard them mention how long they were together or anything like that. But all this hand-holding and all that, this is fresh and young and windblown, and it's not going to last. And probably at the time we're watching this, that relationship has been over. Because we already know she's in it for the penis and the exotic factor. You see? Period. Why he's in it? Because he's dumb as fuck. No knowledge of self, no knowledge of history. You understand? And probably a Christian on top of it. So that's all you need for a disaster. It makes me sick, but and then the kids, you see them when you have the children, then you have these kids that don't know who they are or what they are. Thusly, they can't ever have a proper reaction to oppression and racism because I'm mixed. So you're kind of in this prison, like I can't react because I'm the victim and the fucking perpetrator. It's a problem. It's a problem. That's why I say any other races that want to get together with African people, I still don't like the shit at all. But I can at least allow it. But no African people should ever be with these fucking people. The history is too poisonous. It's too poisonous. Last few seconds.
No, dummy.
Or anything like that. So that was my only question. I just think interacting with people of different races and having relationships in general, whether it's this kind of relationship or just the friendship, just is so beneficial. And I feel bad for anyone who has friends that are all from the same backgrounds because I just think that sounds boring.
I hear that. I feel sorry for anybody that's from the same backgrounds because that's just boring. That's only if you're white it's boring. Of course it's boring. You see? because they're boring. But the fact of the matter is that you need to be with somebody from your own background because you can't feel supported. Listen, how do we make the leap? Follow me on this. We would feel sorry for someone who didn't have their parents, right? Go, oh, they don't have either one of their parents. They were adopted. You know, we would infer that they were not somehow whole simply because they didn't have their parents, you know? Now, go a little further with me. We have a boy child whose mother is raising him. And then they say, oh, he didn't have his father. You know, it's just certain things that he get from his father that he can't get from his mother. He just really needs his father. Now that same boy comes up and is now ready to be out in the world procreating and have love. Start a family. A white bitch? How's he going to be fulfilled? Because remember, he couldn't be fulfilled when he didn't have his parents. He couldn't be fulfilled when he didn't have his father. How's he fulfilled now by having a white bitch? Answer that. You see, it's like it's the selective bullshit that only when it serves the devil. The principle is still the same. You need an African to be with a goddamn African. And given our poisonous history and our current state of affairs, especially African males need black women, period. 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 The black woman is our support. She's our backbone. She's our goddamn anesthesia. She's everything. And she's essential for our life, our everything. Listen, the other day when I had this new internet connection being put in, shout out to Akibla and Violet. At one point, the technician had to call because they were having problems, and I can't. And the phone company was not releasing, or they need to get my phone number released from the phone company so that I could still keep my same phone number. And at one point, he had to give me the phone because he was going to let her explain something to me. Because she wanted to know, did I want to keep my phone? Or it was going to be a few days, probably till the 18th. They could give me a temporary number, and then probably before or at least by the 18th, then my regular phone number should ring on that phone. But he was giving the phone to me so I could talk to this lady. Boom, it was a sister. And she said she was in Illinois. No, she was in St. Louis. I go, oh, I'm from the Midwest too. You know, like I'm from Chicago. But this was just an incidental moment. But this happens in my life all the time since I'm knee-high to a grape. That sister, I wasn't a customer. When she heard me and I heard her, we were family. We talked for probably 40 minutes. It was beautiful. Because then she took care of me. I wasn't just a customer. She was, you know, Mr. So-and-so, you know, said it was, fuck all that. That was out now. It was, let me tell my brother what this is. You see what I'm saying? That's just one little minute thing. But I'm telling you, the black woman is essential. It's like breathing. We can't do nothing without a black woman. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That's why I always get emotional when I talk about our women, you guys, because I know, and I want everybody else to know, like, damn it, black women are everything. Everything. To me, that's like somebody say, you want to ride a tricycle, you want a fucking stretch limo Mercedes, and you pick the fucking tricycle, you take that white bitch. I can't. I can't. I'm never going to be okay with the shit. I don't give a fuck. A white devil will say, you're a racist. I fuck you. This is about black pride, bitch. And understanding quality. You understand? And the only quality exists in black women. Period. Damn it. I'm over the shit. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, there's no excuse for the shit. You know, nowadays there's just like it's over. It's a mute topic. It's no need for it. You know, there's enough black women out there, um, and we're just playing the game against ourselves. You know, because every black woman is not ratchet. You know, and every black woman is not you know, this bullshit that you see. You know, just anything that will give you a negative connotation. You know, there's a lot of serious black women out there, sisters that who have their head put on right. Their goodness is still there. Their kindness, their lovingness, their natural magic that God places in the soul of a woman is indescribable and irreplaceable in a black woman. You know, I love black women so much. I do, because I've been, I've been, I've been given the privilege of seeing the true power of the black woman, the true essence. That's why I'm crying when you see it. You go, oh my God. Let me get some tissue, y'all. Oh, man. Wow. That's why it always astonishes me when I see brothers get on and they want to talk about black women. They want to talk about they're feminist. And, you know, like, I weep for them because I'm like, I know what they don't know. I know it. Like, it's not even up for debate. Like, I know you're a fucking dumbass. I know you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. You know, and it's not even, and forget even my family, you know, because my siblings are made up mostly of girls. You know, there's 5 girls and 4 boys, and but forget, and my grandmother, the queen of my entire universe, my existence, you know, is the one that raised me. But forget them, put them all to the side. You know, I think about even being, well, I was still in my teens when I lost my virginity. And my girlfriend at the time, her name was Cheryl Reed. She was very beautiful. She was very chocolate, like Lupita Nyong'o, and beautiful teeth. But I mention her because in the context of what I'm trying to tell you, you know, this was me interacting with a female sexually for the first time, and just how she took care of me. Like, it was that's why I say it's involuntary for black women. You know, here we were both teenagers, but that magic that she had was there. It was there. She knew that she just instinctively knew that this is easier for her than it's going to be for me. And she could tell I was shy, and she walked me through all of that, you know, and just really took care of me in that moment, you know, and made that something beautiful and everything that it was, you know. But that's just the natural way, you know, of our women. That's just how our women are. I'm telling you, I wish I could beat niggas over the head with a fucking stick and and send their ass off to camp or something for like 10 years or whatever I needed to do. I tell you guys, you know, they're, and that's why I get frustrated with our women when I see them acting less than what I know they are. That gets under my skin, because no black woman ever has to step down at all. She never has to be anything other than her glorious self. And when you would finally just try that, you'll see the whole world will come to you. It just will come to you, because our women, the last thing I'll say about it is our women have been given this idea that they have the work to do, and it's, you know, they're the ones that have to always compromise and give in, and I just reject that all the way around. You know, I'm trying to raise my nieces now, my two younger nieces, because the other one's too late. But my younger nieces now, I'm trying to instill in them now these principles. You know, I want them to value themselves as women simply because they are women. Because that's what the creator of the heavens and the earth has said. A woman don't have to do shit simply because she is a woman. She don't need shit else. And I need them to understand that, you know. So I never refer to them anything other than beautiful and princess, you know. Even my littlest one, Cairo, when I see, sometimes me and my nephew are Skyping or something, she'll come on camera, "Hi, Uncle." Her little bug, little nasty. "Hi, baby." Yeah. Even though her hair is a total disaster, and it usually is. My sister keeps it up, but she will tear it down. And I'll say, "Oh, I love your hair, baby. It looks so beautiful," you know. I give her that, because I know the power of words. I know the power of a young mind. I know that what you put on now is what sticks to eternity. So I'm putting in the work now. Do you understand? Last thing I'll say, I said that a second ago, but I'll say this. Because I've kind of got an excuse, because I just told you about my youngest niece. Now, the one that's a little older than her, the 8-year-old. Last time I was in New York, I was helping my sister move. And my niece, who's 8, says to me, she wasn't 8 then. And my sister was at work, so I'm a domesticated dude. Obviously, if I'm at my sister's house, I'm at home. So that's my house. So let me do what needs to be done. So I'm doing laundry, I'm cooking, I'm up in my sister's room, and I'm hanging her drapes and getting her bedroom together, and da. And my niece was sitting on the bed. And she's been watching me now all the time since I've been there. And she goes, "Uncle, you could do everything. You know how to do everything." That's that young mind. Seeing, just watching me do stuff over the days. You know, see, she saw me moving and lifting and and now he's doing all of this, and that struck on her little mind. "Uncle, you know how to do everything." I almost fell off the ladder or chair, whatever I was standing on, and then I got down and I went over and I grabbed her precious little face. I said, "And someday you'll be a woman. And if you encounter a man that can't do the things that your uncle does, he's not the man for you." I said that to her because someday that will come back. I might be 6 feet under. But the whisper of my spirit and the words that I spoke on her young heart and brain that day will come to harvest. You understand? It's very important. It's very important. It's very important. All right, let me look at comments, you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, Deej, I do. I think living simple is, there's humanity in that. I think there's a discovery of one's true humanity in that, you know. when you have to, when things are just at the snap of a finger and in the palm of your hand, you know, that's builds character. Lightbearer, you're planning for November? Yes, CJ, it's definitely Ghana for me. And the more that I've learned, I understand that a lot of repatriates begin in Ghana. It's just, it seems to be one of the easiest places, you know, especially if you're in Accra. Yes, as my baby was saying, you have to be open-minded to get the true experience. You do. You do. You do. Because you have to remember that that's not what's foreign to you. This is foreign. Yeah, I see what y'all was talking about the brother. Um who was it? CJ was saying he seems green. Yeah, boo. Fresh, young, and windblown. Thank you, Betsy. Yes. It's all about black mothers. It's about black women. It's the magic, you know, we wouldn't have gotten this far and we ain't gonna get nowhere else but for our women. You know, oh, I tell you this, when I was watching Birth of a Nation recently for the first time, I mentioned you guys I had just seen Birth of a Nation. It came on one of these free, you know, weekends they give you on DirecTV. And when one of the slaves, I forget who, I don't know if it was, I don't think it was Nate Parker's character. Anyways, he had been there. And he ran away, and he left them some stuff there. Anyways, when the white devil comes in with his henchmen, yeah, you better tell us where he's at, otherwise it's going to be, and he, you know, and the little boy was sitting there. In fact, it was supposed to be when Nate was still little, or Nat Turner when he was still little. I keep saying Nate, Nat, he played Nat, and he's Nate, it can't. Anyway, those women, no, Master, I powerful swear we haven't seen them. They've always stood as a shield for us. Always. You transfer that to modern day. When they come looking for drug dealers, and we know that's where his girlfriends stay, and they show up. I ain't seen him. He ain't been here. That protection, you see? My God. Wow. It's everything. It's everything. Ross Hogg, and Emmy goes too. Anjane, thank you so much, Jedi. Thank you for watching. I love how Jedi loves black women. It's beautiful. Yes, CJ, it's real. It's from my heart. It's from my soul. I am a product of you. I'm sitting here breathing and living, and I'm growing and all this, and I'm not a fucking thing without a black woman. I'm not even here. There'd just be air and nothing here. You see? It's so, that's why I don't understand how you get out of a black woman's womb and run to something else and proclaim that to be something greater than what you came from. I'm never gonna fucking understand that. I can't. I can't. I can't. Lanak or Lanak says it's true. There are no black people without black women. That's why they're trying to destroy black women. I would add to that it's because black women produce more children than everybody else. Do you understand? On the continent, the average African woman has 4 children, guaranteed. And I think the ratio is the same here for our women, but our women are being given things surreptitiously that I think are more than likely intended to bring down their birth rate, you know. And then also, it is statistically factual that if a white bitch goes into the gynecologist or the pediatrician right now, and a sister goes in and they're both pregnant and ready to give birth right now, white bitch gets a natural birth, sister gets a C-section. Why? Because the doctor gets more money when they perform a C-section. You could just stand outside a grocery store and every black woman come out, excuse me, did you have children? Was it natural or cesarean? Oh, I had C-section. Okay, next one. Sister, did you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't. Anjanae, that right, and see that's the side effect. Anjanae was saying, as a black woman, I'm constantly discouraged by our men. Don't know that you are the queen and you sit upon your throne and fuck these niggas, literally. Like, tell them to kiss your entire ass. You don't need to be. You shouldn't be discouraged. They should be discouraged by you. But that will happen when our women understand their self-value and their self-worth and their own beauty and confidence and stay up on their throne and don't fall for no bullshit. You don't ever have to step down. Don't feel like you got to be desperate. There's a lot of women that, oh, I'm going to get married. Know that they ain't got shit. Can't take you to McDonald's now, but you're going to marry him and have the baby instead of just staying on your throne and saying, no, I don't need to pay for shit in the relationship if I don't want to. So I need you to have the capability to handle everything. See, but they've told you you're a gold digger if you do that. Fuck that. There is no gold digging woman. There is no gold digging black woman. So said the creator of the heavens and the earth. A woman doesn't have to do anything. She wants to sit on her ass and file her nails all day. She has the right to do that simply because she is a woman. I'm over it. Okay, don't start jumping on me. Because you know what, you guys, a lot of times when we finish these live streams and I'm watching it back later, I see comments that I'm like, oh, I didn't answer that person because I didn't see it because it jumps. Did you say preach, boo? Knock 21 says, oh, well, she was talking to my wife. She was saying, it's hard to value who we are when the world doesn't value us. But again, that's where you take that understanding of self-knowledge, whether you're an individual, male or female, young or old. You establish through long periods of silence with self. Like, I spend a lot of time alone by myself. Maybe it's because I'm the baby of 9 kids and I come from a big family and all that stuff. But I value silence, but it's in that space that I find revelation about myself. You see, so over the years of my life, I have been able to build my fortress, you understand? And my velvet rope sits right out front and it's exclusive. But there's also a shield. Nothing can penetrate. I know everything about myself. There's no rock you can throw that will enter. It can't happen because I know who I am and I know my worth to myself and the universe. I know exactly where I'm seated in existence. And so you get to that. Because once you find peace within yourself, nobody can hurt you. Michael Jackson had a line in the song Jam that said that. You can't hurt me. I found peace within myself. Go with it. Go with it. So you got to find it in yourself. Don't look outside of yourself for affirmation or permission, especially as a woman. You understand? Let righteousness be your first pursuit, and then step out on your high heel and tell everybody to kiss your ass. Period. As long as you know you're good with God, that's the only thing that matters. That's it. That's it. And that comes from your constant pursuit of righteousness. That must be the intent of everything that you do in life, including put a fork in your mouth to eat food. Wait now. No nation can rise higher than its woman. That's the damn truth. See, CJ said she had 2 C-sections. Okay, Anjane, I'm gonna find the time, but stay on me. Stay on me. Stay on me. Yeah, and LT, and that's traumatizing for the baby, because remember, you're talking about a spiritual realm, everybody, as well as a physical realm. And the birth of a baby is exactly the incarnation, the intersection of that spiritual and physical, because it is the spirit of the creator that has breathed life into that soul and will sustain it to eternity. And then this mother is participating in that miracle. So when you cut that and rip the baby, that's if you come out that way, he would have made it that way. You see, anytime you do anything that is off of what God has done, you fucked it up completely, because you can't reproduce perfection. You can't. What? You can't reproduce perfection. You can't. You can't. It's like somebody just gets a brand new something, a car, and you just go and touch it. You just ruined it. Because now there's a fingerprint on it that wasn't. I cannot stand you, Nasir. You guys, my nephew's in the room. I cannot stand you at all. Prince, did you try and call me today? By the way, I fell asleep the other day, man, because I told you. Remember? Because remember I told you I was like I had some. I think I told you I had some post production I didn't finish. Da, da, da. I was still working on my Willie Lynch video. Anyway, that's why I didn't call you back, man. What was that, Thursday? Thursday is a blur for me. It was a nebula. Yeah, our women are being wrecked by that. If it's some emergency medical situation or something like that, and it's best for the baby, and oh my God, go ahead and do the C-section. But they make it a policy, everybody. It's a policy. It's a policy. It's a policy. And it's a problem too, because you think about the baby is meant to come through the birth canal. Everything that God does is for a reason. So if you're supposed to come through the birth canal, then that would be because maybe there's enzymes and maybe just the structure even is going to do something to the shape of your bones or something. I mean, we don't know. I don't. And you're just upsetting the damn process. And I'm over it. Yeah, but they're definitely getting rich off black women. Definitely for that shit. No question. And CJ said she was unable to breastfeed if I didn't mention that already. Um, in fact, my nephew, the Prince, he's on here. C-section. Which is why he's a total disaster, and I'll have him in his grave by the end of the year. But that'll be something else. That's like chapter 15. That's chapter 15 of the book. I don't want to get into it. Okay, you guys, I have one other piece I want to share with you now. We're not going to play the whole thing, because I don't know how long it is. But I just want you to see this Sambo-ass nigga that I'm over and you will be over Okay, Deej, I love you. That's right. Begins with the man and the woman in the mirror. Okay, here's one other piece I'm going to share with you guys. We're not seeing the whole thing because we don't need it. I just want you to see this. I'm going to give you a little bit of context because it's from Alex Jones, but we just need this Sambo-ass coon. That's all we need. Oh, by the way, Nasir, I got your, that picture you sent me. My nephew sent me this thing on my phone, you guys. It was like a couple of white people with like major fucking sunburn, like with pus bumps and the discoloration, and they just look like, oh my god, I can't. It was something out of a horror movie. And then it had a caption that says, ain't no way y'all ass ever lived in goddamn Egypt. That's so damn true. Like, I can't. I'm probably gonna put it up and make a meme out of it and do some stuff, but I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, let's see this. I'm queuing it up now, and then I'll bring you guys in. Well, how many seconds? Okay, I'll let you hear from with the Alex Jones piece too.
So let's play part of this clip and then go to him for about 30, 40 minutes here. And then
because that'll give you lead in. Okay. All right, let's go.
So let's play part of this clip and then go to him for about 30, 40 minutes here, and then we're going to cover news and stuff we haven't gotten to yet. But let's go ahead and go to this gentleman's breakdown of why he left the Democratic Party after decades in it, serving in the Navy and Vietnam and many, many years in the state House and then the Senate and so much more. He was also elected to Louisiana Justice Hall of Fame for his work in law enforcement as well, or law and government. But let's go ahead and go to this clip.
Hello. My name is Elbert Lee Guillory, and I'm the senator for the 24th District right here in beautiful Louisiana. Recently, I made what many are referring to as a bold decision to switch my party affiliation to the Republican Party. I wanted to take a moment to explain why I chose to become a Republican, and also to explain why I don't think it was a bold decision at all. It is the right decision. Not only for me, but for all my brothers and sisters in the black community. You see, in recent history, the Democrat Party has created the illusion that their agenda and their policies are what's best for black people. Somehow it's been forgotten that the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an abolitionist movement with one simple creed, that slavery is a violation of the rights of man. Frederick Douglass called Republicans the party of freedom and progress. And the first Republican president was Abraham Lincoln, the author of the Emancipation Proclamation. It was Republicans in Congress who authored the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, giving former slaves citizenship, voting rights, and due process of law. The Democrats, on the other hand, were the party of Jim Crow. It was Democrats who defended the rights of slave owners. It was the Republican President Dwight Eisenhower who championed the Civil Rights Act of 1957. But it was the Democrats in the Senate who filibustered the bill. You see, at the heart of liberalism is the idea that only a great and powerful big government can be the benefactor of social justice for all Americans. But the left is only concerned with one thing, control. And they disguise this control as charity. Programs such as welfare, food stamps, these programs aren't designed to lift black Americans out of poverty. They were all—
Wait a damn minute. First of all, if you are poor and on a damn food stamp, you don't give a fuck why the bitch was created. Give me a damn stamp. You see what I'm saying? Again, they're trying to this vomitous psychology that works on white people, because like you will have white people go out and protest their own best interest, like when the Tea Party was in full effect and all of it. I seen old white bitches in wheelchairs in front of the Home Depot protesting healthcare. The bitch, you're on Social Security and Medicare. What do you say? Roll your bitch ass back. Roll your ass. But they buy into that. This is what they want you to do now. So what you're supposed to feel better about yourself, that now you don't have any way to feed your fucking family or do anything in a society that is trying to fucking murder you off and doesn't want your ass to have shit any damn way? Fuck that. We get every free coin in this bitch that we can get by hook or by goddamn it crook because they owe us that and more. I'm over it. Let's go on with this thing.
Always intended as a mechanism for politicians to control
Let's go back
the black community.
for context and go
Only
on.
concerned with one thing, control. And they disguise this control as charity. Programs such as welfare, food stamps, these programs aren't designed to lift black Americans out of poverty. They were always intended as a mechanism for politicians to control the black community. The idea that blacks, or anyone for that matter, need the government to get ahead in life is despicable.
Really? In your... It's not a Brooks brother. It's definitely not Kenneth Cole. I don't know what that suit is. But it was probably given in a love offering by the church. But I don't think I need to even explain. I think that you should know why I'm outraged and you should be outraged and why that's vomit. But let's finish it.
And even more important, this idea is a failure. Our communities are just as poor as they have always been. Our schools continue to fail children. Our prisons are filled with young black men who should be at home, being fathers. Our self-initiative and our self-reliance have been sacrificed in exchange for allegiance to our overseers, who control us by making us dependent on them.
So, based on everything you just said, Yoda, so would you be in favor of segregation right now? Because I've got the signs in my trunk. I can just hand you one if you'd like to put up the whites only signs again. I don't mind sharing. You see, if that's the truth, then you are in favor of then segregation again. So that we're not tied at the hip to this fucking enemy. But his bitch ass would be the first one saying, well, we can't just separate from white folks. But you're saying that essentially here. Listen, the white man is the devil, and that's all you need to know when you wake up in the fucking morning. And the next thing you need to understand is that this is the only way that somebody like this would speak this vomit, and the fact that they're giving him a coin. He's 9,000 years old. He's going to be dead in 10 minutes, so it doesn't matter what he says, all right? Part of the problem is you have old people that are on their way into their fucking grave trying to tell young people what is best for them. You see what I'm saying? That's a problem. If their intentions are not pure, and that's what we have going on here.
This idea is a failure. Our communities are just as poor as they have always been. Our schools continue to fail children. Our prisons are filled with young black men who should be at home, being fathers. Our self-initiative and our self-reliance have been sacrificed in exchange for allegiance to our overseers.
Allegiance.
Who control us by making us...
In exchange for allegiance to our overseer. So then you would be in favor of segregation. So you'd be ready to join my cause. Is that what you're saying, Yoda?
Dependent on them. Sometimes I wonder if the word freedom is tossed around so frequently in our society that it has become a cliche. The idea of freedom is complex and it's all-encompassing. It's the idea that the economy must remain free of government persuasion. It's the idea that the press must operate without government intrusion. And it's the idea that the emails and phone records of Americans should remain free from government search and seizure. It's the idea that parents must be the decision makers in regards to their children's education.
It's Republicans that gave us the fucking wiretapping and search and seizure of your goddamn phone, dumb bitch. You see, all the negative stuff, you know, the Republicans are the ones that don't want anybody to have fucking health care paid for by the government. You understand what I'm telling you? It's the Republicans that don't want to legalize marijuana. I mean, just keep going down the damn list. You understand? Fuck him. This is what I'm saying. We have to be in a position as a people, once we are unified and we have organization. You understand? Real organization, not the ACLU, not the NAACP, not the bullshit. Fuck all that. I'm talking about real organizations that are black-centric, only, then we deal with people like this. They don't go on and make little videos with cutesy music playing behind it because they know we will be coming for their ass. So they'll be hiding in a fucking ditch someplace out in the fucking Yahoo because they'll say, I can't do this because my people will come for me. That coon shit is over. They don't tolerate that anymore. They actually exterminate people like me now. Huh?
Some government bureaucrat. But most importantly, it is the idea that the individual must be free to pursue his or her own happiness, free from government dependence.
Well, free? Well then, let a bitch get a stamp. If that's what she want to do. Let a nigga be free to be a Democrat if that's what they want to be. You see the fork tongue, the double speak? It's all in there. It's all there. It's all there. It's all there.
Individual must be free to pursue his or her own happiness.
Must be free to pursue his or her own happiness. He just said that. So that just discards every fucking thing you just said up till now.
Free from government dependence and free from government control.
Okay, free from government dependence and free from government control. So that means I get all my tax dollars back now? Just you send me a check and I'm good. I don't gotta pay tax for shit else, not even a goddamn Snickers. I'm good. Oh, we can't do that. Oh, okay.
Because to be truly free is to be reliant on no one other than the author of our destiny.
So what about rules? That means I can just fly down the freeway at 190 tomorrow, huh? Because I'm free. Huh? I can't with this.
These are the ideas at the core of the Republican Party, and it is why I am a Republican.
No,
So my brothers and sisters of the American community, please join with me today in abandoning the government plantation.
First of all, even for a black man to stand up anywhere in a fucking glossy video with the music and piano playing behind and all of it, which was in the wrong key, for any African person to stand up and to be, espousing anything patriotic is sickening. And the height of ignorance and lack of self-awareness that you're probably going to see expressed anywhere. I mean, it's just, I can't. He believes this, but he's also a Christian.
And the party of disappointment, so that we may all echo the words of one Republican leader who famously said, "Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last."
That's Elbert Guillory, Senator, and
Elbert, that right there should discredit all of his credibility right there. Elbert, I think I've said enough. I don't need to say anything else. I don't need to. I don't need to. I don't need to. I don't need to. That should say it all. Elbert. I can't. I think the chat is behind, you guys. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. And as Marcus is pointing out and reminding me that this was a dark-skinned black man that was wearing glasses. I've said enough. The prosecution rests. What time is it, y'all? What is going on? Why isn't it giving me? Oh. All right. We'll do another 15. Any questions, comments, anything you guys want to talk about, you can bring that. I'm happy to address anything. We'll take another 15 minutes or so for that. And then we'll get on up out of here. You get from here. But Kendra, talk to me. When can we get together? Can we get together tomorrow? And can you give me your Skype right now? Or I'm gonna be standing outside your house in about 5 minutes. I'm probably gonna be standing out there. This might be a hologram though, but I might be a hologram right now. I might be outside your house, but I could be. Also, Marcus, I wanted to say thank you for your contribution to the GoFundMe as well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for just your kindness. You know what, Prince? I'm probably gonna take, like, when I get off here, I'm doing like another 15 minutes, and then, yeah, you just send me your name. It's either attached to your name or your email, and then I'll be able to search you, and then you tell me if you got a picture on there or not, or where you live or something that way, because it'll probably be 1,000 of those names that'll come up, and I know which one distinguishes you. And then maybe we can get together tomorrow. I really would like that. Okay, you said the username. Nasir, when I get off here, I'm going to first I need to cool off because I'm hot as shit. I could burst into flames now as I sit here. It could happen live. Is that your username? Or you're saying, Kendra, tell me, because I want to make sure we have something nailed down. I think there's like a 5-second delay, something like that. But I want you to tell me. Okay, inshallah. Don't ever say inshallah if you don't intend to do it. Because my sister was like, I'm going to call you back. Inshallah, Heifer don't never call me. She's out of the will. Just saying. It'll be like that's like chapter 15. Chapter 15 of the book. It's like chapter 15. All right, yeah, definitely. How are you gonna get it to me? How are you gonna get it to me? Okay, very well. Jazakallah khair. All right, you guys, if there's nothing else, Marcus, were they talking about reopening? I feel like that had been reopened at different times over the years. I don't remember. But are you hearing something, Marcus, that they're reopening the case? Because I've not heard that. And by the way, speaking of Emmett, they just re-exhumed Kendrick Johnson recently again. Lanak, listen. I'm so tired of even saying this that I'm probably going to collapse when I say it. I have said I will make myself available anytime you want and answer any questions you want to know about Islam. Period. Period. Also, it's not K-O-R-A-N, that's white devil. It's Q-U-R-A-N, Quran. And you can read the Quran, but you can read the Kitab. You see, the book itself is known as the Kitab, Kitab Allah. You see, Quran is literally something that is recited. So this Kitab does not become Quran until it is recited. This is one of the divine ways that the Creator has protected this book for nearly 1,500 years, because it's in the hearts of Muslims. We know it. So there is no versions of the Quran. You see, if I call up somebody, I can call up somebody in China right now. I can call somebody in Somalia. I can call up somebody in Iceland and Greece and Russia, and let's do 90 more countries, and then we'll go whatever, and we'll get them all on a conference call, and we all speak different languages. And I say, let's recite Fatiha from the Quran. Everybody will say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, Ar-Rahman Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladina an'amta alayhim, Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. And then we would all say, Ameen. You see, there's one Quran, so you can read the Kitab Lanak. You can go to Quran.com. That has been approved by the Islamic scholars, as you know, and they hawk over it to make sure that it's not, being messed with. So you can go to Quran.com and begin to get an idea of the Quran, the Kitab, the book. But Quran is when it's recited in the language that God revealed it to man. You see? That is Quran. You heard that fuck Jeff Sessions. He needs a session of death is what he needs. Walaikum salam, sister. And inshallah, I'll be looking for your information. Ross Hogg, not today. When we finish these next few minutes, I need to just replenish. Okay, Marcus, yeah. I would like that so I could see it. I might end up doing something on it because that's got my ear up now. And then now Lanak is saying that he heard that Jeff Sessions was trying to reopen the case. No, Ross Hogg, damn it. There's always been servitude. That's what I always say. And I wish you would go and watch the Willie Lynch video that I did yesterday. Or that I streamed live yesterday. Because this is the thing. We have so many black people who want to point to Arabs. First of all, we're the Arabs. That's what you need to know. The first Arabs are African people. They're still African Arabs. Period. Period. You must understand geography. You must know that there's no place called the Middle East. That is in conflict with all known geography. There's no Middle East. You see? That's first. So you see that you have to have knowledge converging. So it requires you to know some other associated things to be able to prove what I'm telling you. There's no Middle East, and also black Arabs are us. Arabs are us, period. Then you realize, oh, that's always been Northeast Africa, which means, of course, our people live in the desert. That's how we dress. Even now, you understand what I'm telling you? So that's first. So what is an Arab is what you need to understand. Because when you're thinking Arab, when you ask this question, you're seeing some white-looking dude or Mexican-looking dude. That's first. all Arabs are not Islamic. In fact, Arabs, to use your term now, in your context in which you're thinking of it, Arabs make up only 6% of the 1.8 billion Muslims on the earth. So they're a little tiny band, just a little tiny fraction. So most Muslims on the earth don't look like that. Most Muslims on the earth look like me. Do you understand that most African melanated people on the planet we call Earth are Muslims? That's it. Not the Nation of Islam people. Most African and melanated people on the planet Earth are Muslims. It's only in this asshole of Satan and a stain from slavery that 86% of our people are under that Christian vomit. That's important to know. So, was there servitude? Absolutely. But that type of slavery / servitude was even something, just to give you an understanding of what the atmosphere of it was. You had people that would sell themselves into slavery in order to support themselves and or their families. You see, they would sell themselves into slavery. You see, you have to be careful of the word Islamic, Arabic, and slavery, because servitude is the word you want to use for ancient forms of people working as servants to others. This bullshit this white devil has pulled off is genocide upon a race of people. Nothing equivalent to it ever in the history of existence on the earth. Period. End of answer. Shout out to R. Pierce. Hello. Okay. I guess I can begin landing this plane, everybody. Marcus, send me that link. I'm definitely interested in that. Absolutely. You got my ears up now. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has shown up. Make sure that you thumbs up this live stream. That's first. Second of all, the link for my Black Junction TV page is in the description box down below. You must go and subscribe on Black Junction TV, everybody, because the Jedi is going to be going away from YouTube eventually. Understand? But I'm laying the groundwork for that now, and I can't do it without you. It takes half a second to click it. It takes you right to the link. Oh my God, and you just hit the subscribe button and you're done. And you go back to your life. Let's stop being trifling. Let's stop it. And as I always say, we have to start controlling the things that we can control, everybody. We can control this. So let's do it. Thumbs up the live stream and make sure you go over and subscribe to Black Junction TV. I always leave the donation for the GoFundMe in the thing now, just because, like I say, people were really, they wanted to donate after I did the fundraiser to fix my car and all that stuff. So that's a constant. I leave that. If you want to donate, I'm happy for you to do it. But that Black Junction TV, you definitely need to get over there, because I'm building now. Because I'm doing my work. I need you to go and do a click. Meanwhile, I got to sit for hours and upload my shit from my computer up over there. So I have all my stuff archived over there. What's up, Daryl Eiffel? So I'm doing my part, which is way more of a heavy lift than the shit you got to do. Can you just click? Subscribed. Done. You feel me? It's nothing. It's nothing. Okay, well, Ross Hawk, first of all, I'm going to need to see you, because ain't no picture going on. So, no love without a picture, homie. So, you get that handled, and then I open up all of my resource to you. I'll absolutely help you. Whatever I can do, I'll do it. I've done it for others. I'll do it for you. You know? So, yeah. All right, you guys. Get those thumbs ups done. thumbs ups done. Get over to Black Junction TV. Get subscribed over there. And also set up your own accounts as well. That's our YouTube, everybody. That's our Black YouTube. We want our own shit. We got to support it. It's Obama. Pierce. Let me see so I can see what you see and so I know I'm showing you right. Yeah, it's Obama. It's one of my Obama shirts. Thanks for asking. Daniel, what's up, brother? I'm just about to get off, but I'm glad to see you. Appreciate the bro. And Daniel, remember yesterday in the chat we was talking about. Remember Shaka brought up this thing about Mr. Jones's plantation. I played the video. When you watch the live stream, when it's done, when it's finished processing, you can see the whole thing. You'll see I did it. I did it. Yes. Okay. Well, then I'll get over there and support yours too, Daniel. In fact, you send me the link, and I'll make sure I immediately go subscribe to you. It's a done deal. Okay, Ross, you say you're in video, so that's fine too. Okay, you don't trust pictures, but you put your video up. I'm over you. All right, fine. Then give me a link for some video that you're in and something. You feel me? And if you should not trust YouTube, if you have anything on Google, your shit is out there, homie. It's Google, not YouTube. Just telling you. Yeah, well, I went ahead and included that. I made that one of the provocations for me doing this live stream, Daniel. And we got to Skype again sometime soon. Sometime again soon too, man. Cause that one time we Skype, we was on for a long time. Okay, CJ, see what I'm saying, y'all? Look, on the next live stream, cause I'm about to go. On the next live stream, once anybody that, and I'll make sure I remember to announce it. If I don't, somebody remind me. Anybody does videos needs to come out of the shadows and let me know. Then I'll go to your channel and see if you are bullshit or not. If you're doing something that is of any value at all, you know, I happily will push you and push you and push you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my YouTube cousins, Lynette and Stanley, they're over the moon now. They just doing show reviews for the most part. They're over the moon now. I pushed them and pushed and promoted and pushed and promoted and pushed and promoted. I used to threaten my own viewers, like, if you don't go over there and subscribe to their channel, I'm over you and I can't and this and the third and you know. So I do that. You know, my YouTube baby sister, Jada Frazier. There's been others. There's been people that I work with behind the scenes, you know. There's one brother that early on, he came and he wanted to know how I produce my videos. And, you know, at that time, he was like, I know you spend a lot of money in this. I'm like, no, I wasn't spending no money at that time at all. I'm like, all the shit I'm using is free. So, and I literally produced a tutorial for him, just for him, and sent it to him only, privately, and all of it. You know what I'm saying? He never came back. I just want to know his progress. He never came back and, you know, told me, yeah, thank you, brother. I was, you know, I'm up and doing my thing. I just wanted to know so I could go and celebrate and be happy for him. Not that I want anything back or nothing. But he's a Christian. So it was like, take the information and run. Scatter. You see? And I actually ended up having to cuss his bitch ass out before it was all said and done. Whatever. My intentions were pure. That's all that matters. Yeah, CJ, you got to come on out, girl. So, look, you guys, I'm going now. I'm going. Let me look on my dashboard to see just how long we've been on officially. 2 hours and 16 minutes. We're done. Damn it. I want to say that I love you guys again. I want to say thank you for showing up and participating in this live stream. It is a participation. I do this for you guys and for me, but I say I'm doing it for you because my videos are for you, you know. But like I said at the top of this stream, doing these is about being interactive with my people in real time, having that connectivity. You know, it also gives you a chance to come to the chat and you see other people, because I love when I see other people talking to each other inside the chat, like, yeah, girl, such and such, or yeah, man, I heard this, or whatever. I love that too. So that's and part of the reason why I'm on Earth is to bring our people together, you know. And that's always been a trait of mine anyway. I love to bring the people together over me, you know, or because of me, I mean, just, or if I'm the instrument that makes that happen, you know. So I think I've communicated everything I need to communicate in this particular stream. Today is Saturday. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to doing Skypes. I'm going to get on Skype, and anybody that's not on is going to be killed. And if they're not killed, then I'll be sending them threatening notices to evacuate their home within 24 hours due to death. I don't know. Something will happen. But I'm going to try and get in some of those Skypes with people. Lanak, like I said, if you're serious about learning about Islam, then you need to get with your boy. You understand that? You see, and anybody, it doesn't matter when it is. If you say, Jedi, I want to talk to you about Islam, period, the end, I will stop and move heaven and earth to do that. Because I know it's the best thing for you. And I only want what's best for you. So it's just about giving you the information to make your own decision. That's it. We're not here to convert at all. Just here to share. It's nothing, CJ. You go over and learn. It'll walk you through it. All software walks you through it now. You just go and do it and sign in. You feel me? Make sure you get a picture up. But you just go and do your thing. And you're going to be like, this is nothing. Are you on a phone, a tablet, or a PC, CJ? Betsy, I know that makes me sick. I was watching something on YouTube yesterday, this white dude that was in Ghana, and there was a sister, a Ghanaian sister that was taking him around and everything. I can't. That's one of the things I'm doing when I get to fucking Ghana, is I'm fucking starting shit with fucking white people and run their bitch asses off the continent. That's part of my mission. Watch. No, they're not. I'll never do email. Okay, fine. If you like, I don't want you emailing me like I'm emailing you back and forth. If you have an email, you want to send me something one time, I'll probably see it. But I don't communicate on email because I'm just being honest with you. I don't get there. I have 3 channels I have to operate, and I just have too much stuff. I just can't. And I have 3 emails, and I can't, dude. So just I can't. You know, if you want to if you have something you need to share with me, just an email, fine. You know, and that's just easy. It's just Jedi14952@hotmail. Done. But other than that, like, the way to communicate with me is on Skype. I've said that a million times. I'm not typing a bunch of stuff. I'm not doing that. It's easy for me to just talk to you and say what's up. Okay, you're on your cell phone. Well, that usually comes with a Skype thing. If not, CJ, you can go into the apps and just type in Skype in the free stuff, and boom, you get Skype. Done. It's very easy to Skype from your phone. I have it on my phone too. I'll never use it, but I have. I've used it enough to be able to represent to you that it works. You know, it does. So do what you can, CJ, and what you don't get done will help. You know, I'll help you the rest of the way, or you can just let me know. You know, whatever guidance I need to give you. Betsy, last thing to you. I told you that makes me sick. I'm over it. I'm over it. I can't. Bitches. All right, you guys. I love you all. I enjoyed this live stream. If I get a chance to get some time in tomorrow, I'll do one tomorrow. I will tell you this, that Monday I'm going to live stream the Monday Mix, because you guys know that I've resurrected that feature on my channel, and I think that I will start live streaming the Monday Mixes. First of all, it gives me an excuse to go live, and we can do the Monday Mix. Plus, the Monday Mix is meant to be all over the place anyway with current events and topical stuff that I would normally not cover in a regular recorded video. So I think it serves two birds to be able to just start live streaming the Monday Mixes. So if we don't see each other tomorrow on a live stream, we'll see each other on Monday. But tomorrow I'm looking to do Skypes and reach out to people, you know, and stuff like that. So I love you all, but I've got to go. I'll see you soon.